My name is Lauren and I've had alopecia since I was 13. So over my journey I've learned a lot of different ways on how to put eyelashes and eyebrows on, and I'm here to show you how to do that. Now I'm going to show you how to apply eyelashes. So there are many eyelashes out there. Just pick ones that you feel comfortable with, and these are the ones that I've chosen today. So what I'm going to do is take off the eyelashes off the packet and just measure them against my eye, making sure that it's not too long, because sometimes the length is too long for your actual eye. So just putting it up to the top of your eye and moving it around, just approximately. I know how much I need to cut off, and you'll get used to that too, but I approximately cut off about that length of the actual Q-tip middle bit. So I'm going to grab some little scissors and just cut off that little bit there. Now the eyelashes themselves actually come in the packet quite straight, and if you stick them on the way they are, you actually look a bit tired because they're falling down. So what I'm going to do is flick them upwards, and by doing that I'm going to use a little bit of mascara, and I'm going to place it just roughly along the eyelash. And then what I'm going to grab is just your normal little eyelash curlers, and I'm going to grab the curler and just place the eyelash inside the curler, just around like that, and not too hard, but just scrub it that little bit. So, all ready to go. Now I'm going to use some glue. There's, again, many different types, and make sure you have one that actually makes you feel comfortable and stays on well. This one, I love it all day and I'm happy. So I'm going to grab the glue, but to place the glue along the eyelash, I'm going to get that Q-tip and I'm going to cut on an angle upwards, just like that, just so you get some more precision with that glue when you're placing it along the base. So I'm just going to squeeze that glue out, grab the eyelash, and I'm going to run it just along that base. Don't put too much, just enough to cover that black line. Now I'm going to put it aside to dry that little bit. So you're going to wait till it comes out a little bit clear, a little bit tacky, because you put it on the way it is, it's just going to slip off. So you're going to lean it against something on an angle on the side so that that white part doesn't touch the table. So I'm just going to lean it up against there for now. So while I'm waiting for that to go tacky, I'm just going to prep the eye. So I'm going to get a nice eyeliner and just run that along the base of the eyeline. So we're just going to go at the bottom, to the side, nice and easy. Then what I'm going to do again is actually run a little bit of this glue on the top of the eyelid. It just makes it stick that much better. So I'm just going to get that bit again and just run it along the top and not too close to your eye or the corner of your eye. So we'll just run it along. And again, just wait until it goes that little bit clear and tacky. Now the glue has dried a little bit, I'm going to grab the eyelashes with some good old trusty tweezers, and what we're going to do is stick them on. So starting from the corner of your eye and then placing it along the base and making sure it's not too close to that corner of your eye because it will irritate the eye and your eye will water. And then once they're on, just give them a little bit of a push down. Don't be too scared. And there you go, they're on. So now to cover that base of the actual eyeliner, or the eyelash I should say, is what we need to use is some eyeliner. So I'm going to just grab some liquid eyeliner and just run along that base. So again, from the corner, running up and along, just following that line. And I like doing a little bit of a cat eye is what it's called. And then to cover just the back, I'll just run along the back of the eyelash and up again as well. I like to be a little bit extra cautious in making sure it stays on all day, so I'll use a bit of this smudge pot stuff. It's fantastic. Now I've got a little brush that I've actually cut off the hairs of it and made it that little bit finer for me to use, just to give me that extra precision. And I'm gonna run it in there. And again, doing exactly what I did with the liquid eyeliner, running along the base, up, and over. And we're done. So now you'll see I've applied the other eyelash, and this is the final look. Okay, now I'm going to show you how to do eyebrows. So the first one is stencil. Stencil eyebrows are really nice and easy. You've got this lovely little stencil here you're going to place against your face. Now I know since you don't have eyebrows, it can be hard to know where to place them along your face. So there's a little trick. So I'm just going to grab a texture pencil, whatever you like, and we're going to run it along your face. So from the corner of your nose, going straight up, just there, put a little dot so you know where you're going. So corner up, that's where it should start. From the corner of your nose, going out to the side of your eye, and making sure that pen runs just along the side of the black part of your eye. So just going up to the top, to the side, and around about there is where the eyebrow should rise. And then from the corner of your nose to the corner of your eye, that is where it should end. Roundabout. No eyebrow is perfect, remember that. So now we've got a little stencil. We're going to place it just using those markers so you know where to place it. Then what you're going to do is grab your powder, and there's many different powders out there. So we're just going to dab it in and then run it along. Just like you would if you were doing it in art classes, just colouring in that area as much as you can, and then pull it off. So it can look quite blocky right now, but what we're going to do is, to give it a bit of depth, is we're going to use a texture. There's eyebrow textures, and this one I've actually bought from the art craft shop, which is a lot cheaper. And we're just going to add a little bit of texture by running little hairlines and really roughly make sure it's not perfect. So we're just going to go running along. Now, also can look a little bit dark, so grab your little Q-tip, bit of water, and just dust it off a little bit, just so it doesn't look so precise. And there you go. There's your eyebrow. So now I've applied both eyebrows, and this is the final stencil eyebrow look. Now I'm going to show you another technique for eyebrows. These ones are called transfer tattoos. They come in sheets like this, many different colors, sizes. You pick them, the one that suits you best. Now, these are great for if you're swimming, because they stay on and they stay on well. So what I'm going to do is, with this sheet, I'm going to cut out just the one set. So I'm going to get those little scissors again, and I'm using little nail scissors just so I can get a bit more precision around them, and just cut around the eyebrows. Now I'm going to cut them in half. So I've got one and one separate. And using that technique I showed you before, you'll put the dots on so you know exactly sort of where roundabouts you're going to place them. So just like one of those transfer tattoos you had when you were a kid, you're going to use that same technique. So peel off the little clear sheet that's actually on there. If I can grab it, like so. And then we're going to place the eyebrow onto your face and make sure it's clean so there's no oil, so it sticks out a little bit better. So we're just going to place it down onto your face, up and around. Now what we're going to do is grab some hot water and make sure it's not too hot so you don't burn yourself. So grab a Q-tip, make it all soaking wet, and we're going to place it all the way along that paper. So again, just like you were doing those transfer tattoos when you were a kid, we're gonna make sure that paper is really soaked. So we'll just place it all the way along. And just dab it down as well while you're doing it, making sure that it's adhering to the skin. Once it gets wet enough, it should peel off and the tattoo should stay on your face. So just gently and slowly peel it off. And boom. A little bit wet, so just dab it with whatever you can, but nice and easy, and you don't have to worry about it coming off at all. I've now applied the other eyebrow, and this is the final look for the transfer tattoos. Now the final technique I'm going to show you is with a silicone base hair eyebrows. Now these are really cool. They can be a little pricey, but they are fantastic. They're actually a plastic base where they insert hairs into them. So all you do is you grab your eyebrows, again using that technique of where to place them, get your glue, and you generally can buy them with the actual eyebrows. Now you just run the glue along the base of the eyebrow, so on the base that doesn't have the hair, just along. Not too thick, not too thin. You don't want it seeping out the sides and it getting all gluggy and shiny. So grab the eyebrow and then place it down and place it on. Now, sometimes you can see a little bit of plastic base, so to hide that, you can either use some of that same stuff I was using in the previous clip, the actual shadow, just to add a bit of depth, or even a little bit of the texture, but generally they look great. So I've stuck on the other eyebrow, I've pasted a little bit of powder over them, and now this is the final. I love these the best because I feel they look the most natural and I'm the most comfortable in them.